Everyone. Well, that worked. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today for our 10th annual Italian Day Columbus flag raising. I'd like to now ask the Knights of Columbus, 4th degree, from Colonia to please escort our honorees and Christopher and Queen Isabella. If you'd all please rise for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Just like to make a couple of very quick introductions. First, I'll start with our event committee. Event Chair Ezio Tamburello, Rosanna Pizzella Isaldo, Marty Martino, Lori Cancelosi McCabe, Jack McGreeviano, Frank St. Marie, and Pat Trombetta. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have some former honorees. If you'd quickly stand when I call your name, and if I miss somebody, please let me know. 2006, Vincent Martino and Rosanna Isaldo. 2007, Lori Cancelosi. 2008, Anthony Orsini. 2009, Pasquale Trombetta. 2010, Ezio Tamburello. 2011, Valentina Saramba. 2012, Frank St. Marie. 2013, Vito Samaluca. And if there's anybody in the audience I missed that is a past honoree, please raise your hand. I think we, I'm sorry?
John Falzone.
Yeah, but he's not here, is he? He is. Oh, where is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, John Falzone, sorry. 2007, John Falzone. Anybody else? Okay, we have some members of our governing bodies here. Ron Rios, the director of the Middlesex County Freeholder Board. Our very own Middlesex County Freeholder, Charlie Kenny. From our Town Council, First Ward Councilwoman, Nancy Drum. Second Ward Councilman, Rick Galena. Fourth Ward Councilman, Jim Major. From our Board of Education, Dan Harris. The third time he's introduced this morning, Board of Education, Ezio Tamburello. Also from the Board of Education, Frank Della Pietro. Also, I know, I just saw them. Now to my far left, 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan, 3rd Ward Councilman Corey Spiller, and Councilman at Large Greg Ficara. And also somewhere behind me is former 5th Ward Councilman Bob Luban. And with that, I'd like to turn over our program to the man who started this 10 years ago. He's of Italian descent. He does a great job as our senator for not only Woodbridge, but South Amboy, Perth Amboy, Carteret, and Sayreville. Has been in the Senate since 1997. He's just a voice for people in need in the state of New Jersey. He chairs the Health Committee. Other people have the fancy committees where you can raise all kinds of money and be in the paper all the time. And Joe just quietly runs the Senate Health Committee and just helps the people who really need help in the state of New Jersey. He's doing an amazing job for the Township of Woodbridge, but really for the entire state. Ladies and gentlemen, your 19th District Senator, Joe Vitale.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out again and today to celebrate what will be tomorrow Columbus Day, but also our Italian heritage and what not just being Italian means, but what the Italian culture and Italian people have meant to not just here in Woodbridge Township, but of course to the state and to our nation. You know, like so many other ethnic groups, whether you're from Irish descent or Spanish descent or Polish descent, every group has had has made a significant impact in the way it is that America has evolved over all these years. through hard work, through family, through commitment, to really living the American dream, which is to be in a place where you can be free, you can get an education, you can raise your family without fear, you can be in a place that's safe, and where you can really live your dream and as best you can and have an opportunity to succeed. You know, my grandparents came over here at the very bottom of the boat with probably 5 lira or 10 cents in their pocket. And they worked hard, they made their way. They had 8 kids, and they've all gone on to have a variety of different careers and grandchildren who have been successful in their own ways. And that's really what the American dream is all about, to come to a place where you can be free to express your religion, be free to get an education for men and for women. This country is really the greatest on the planet. And the Italian people have had such a great impact and a meaningful really addition to the American culture and to the American fabric. And for that, I'm proud. I'm proud of my parents and my grandparents for what they did. I'm also very happy to have Christopher and Isabella here today. They parked their ship over at the Seawarren launch. So if you want to tour the Nina Pinta or the Santa Maria, you can do so after 11 o'clock. So thank you for coming today and for every year that you've been here to represent those great explorers and the Queen as well. Thank you very much. Let's hear it for them. It's been a tradition every year that we have this event, that we also celebrate some of the Italian culture through song. And this year, again, we're really lucky and blessed to have Chris Jago to come up and sing a medley of Italian songs, which we've always been really excited to hear and happy to hear. Christopher, let's hear it for him.
Good morning, everybody. Let's see. You might recognize that one. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once, unafraid, I can go where life leads me, and somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew someone warm like you would make my dreams come true. For once in my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me, not like it's hurt me before. For once, I have someone I know won't desert me, and I'm not alone anymore. For once I can say this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I've got love, I can make it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. At least for once I can say this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I've got love, I can make it. For once in my life I found someone. Yeah, for once in my life I've got someone. For once in my life I've got someone who needs me. Thank you. Something that we were missing this morning. It doesn't want to cue with me. Maybe? Maybe? See, now you get it. It's a a little chilly. The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song, and then we strolled that golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind, like painted kites, those days and nights, they went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky. Then, softer than a piper man, one day it called to you, and I lost you to the summer wind. The autumn wind and the winter winds, they have come and gone. And still the days, those lonely days, they go on and on. And guess who sighs his lullabies through nights that never end? My fickle friend, the summer wind, the summer wind, warm summer wind. Thank you. One last one for you, and it will play right now. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on a Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Well, while we're waiting, I might as well thank everybody again so much for coming out today. Thank you, Senator Vitale, for asking me to come back out. It's an honor to be here. Utilize the time properly, right? Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. other words, I love you. Thank you so much.
Let's hear it again for Christopher Jago. Really one of the highlights of the day, and thank you again, Chris. Great job, as always. We're Mayor McCormick. Ask the mayor to come back up. And, before we proceed with the program and acknowledge all of our other special guests and our honorees today, I'd also recognize Assemblyman Craig Coughlin, who came in. Assemblyman. Also, our county clerk, Elaine Flynn, is here. Elaine. Timing is impeccable. Our great congressman from New Jersey, Congressman Frank Pallone. Come on up. Congressman, come on up.
I missed the song.
I know.
I was looking forward to
We're
that.
serenading you in.
I wanted to see you and the mayor too.
Thanks.
I just very briefly, whenever I go to anything for Columbus Day, I think of three things. First, my Italian heritage and being proud of that, and the contributions that Italian Americans have made here in the United States and elsewhere. And then second is the whole idea of discovery and innovation. We talk so much in our state about innovation, whether it's technology or discovering new things, and how important that is to America as a nation. And then the last thing is immigration, because it reminds me, of course, the fact that for the most part, we're a nation of immigrants, and we have to continue to celebrate that as well. So there are a lot of things to think about on Columbus Day, but I'm always proud to be here with all of you because I think it's so important that we continue to celebrate it. So thank you again, Joe. Thanks.
So our first honoree is someone who's been a great citizen here in Woodbridge, and somebody we're very proud of that they selected this year for Grand Marshal Angelo Bufumo. Angelo.
Angelo, congratulations. The best thing Angelo did is produce my secretary, Cindy Bench. But that's not one of the best things he did. He's Mr. Angelo. He's known as, to the kids crossing on Colony, for 20 years he was a crossing guard for the township. He's been involved in St. John Vianney. He's always ushering. He's been involved with this committee before. And I just think the world of you as a citizen of Woodbridge Township. He's always at the Evergreen Center all the time, playing cards, stealing from the other seniors in Pinochle. They say they play for chips, but I always see dollar bills hidden. They try to hide them whenever I show up. They, give them, the mayor's coming in the parking lot, hide the money. But anyway, congratulations. It's a well-deserved honor.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Ezio, Angelo asked Ezio if he'd say a few words on his behalf.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, folks. Wrong piece of paper. I want to let everybody know a little something about Angelo and our recipient this year. Being part of the committee actually didn't take a lot of effort in choosing our recipient this year. I want to thank the mayor, Senator Vitale, all our honorable elected officials, fellow school board members, and friends and family all gathered here today as we honor American Italians and raise the Italian flag here in Woodbridge Township. I also want to thank Knights of Columbus back here. To the honor guard, they're here every year for the ceremony. They do a tremendous amount of good in the community. They're always around. They never get a lot of credit, but I want to acknowledge Knights of Columbus and all the guys here today, and for everything they do year-round. As a former Grand Marshal myself, I am proud to be part of this celebration every year. But this year, I'm especially proud as we honor Angelo Bufumo as Grand Marshal of our flag-raising ceremony. It's a tremendous honor for Angelo and his family because, as many of you may not know, Angelo was an instrumental part in creating this ceremony. 10 or 11 years ago, with our dear friend Charlie Shaughnessy, rest in peace. Charlie Shaughnessy-Ano, and Angelo and Senator Vitale's office, they really pushed to get this ceremony done, and we've been doing it every year, and it's in no small part to the work that Angelo and Charlie and Senator Vitale did for the community, so thank you guys. A little bit, something about Angelo. Angelo was born in Newark in 1939 after his parents immigrated from Sicily. He graduated from Arts High School in 1956, enlisted in the U.S. Army right after high school at 17 years old. He honorably served in active duty and the reserves for a total of 8 years. Been married to Mary Ann for over 54 years, is that correct? 54 years. Who's the saint in the relationship? 54 years, 2 lovely daughters, Cindy and Dawn, and 4 grandchildren who are the absolute loves of his life. Angelo lives in the Colonia section of town in the same house he bought in 1966. He was employed as a supervisor for Wakefern, and after his retirement, as the mayor said, he went to work at School 21 for the Woodbridge PD as a crossing guard. He is a parishioner of St. John Vianney Church, has served as an usher, Saturday 5 o'clock Mass, which is where I usually see Angelo, for over 20 years. Active member, Knights of Columbus and Colonia, 4th degree member, active, and has been a member since 1999. He's held the title of Grand Knight and Faithful Navigator, and it is within the Knights organization that I think Angelo has done some of his best work in the community with the fundraising drives for Alzheimer's and our Handicapped Citizens Drive. And you know, Angelo doesn't notice, but he left an impression on me as a knight, a young knight, back when I started, in that the money we raised, and you see all groups all over town raising at the intersections of Inman Ave or Green Street or Main Street, you know, throwing the coins out. And Angelo would coordinate that for several years. And when we would count the money and we realized the totals that we were raising and where the money was going. Now, a lot of you guys know Angelo, some of you know, he's a tough guy, right? Blue-collar guy, not afraid to raise his voice once in a while, you know, not afraid of an argument. He's a tough guy. But the money we raised for these funds and where it was going would bring him to tears at these meetings and the good that he was doing and the money that he was raising. And I think that left a big impression on me. It's a man I wanted to be friends with, and it's a group that I wanted to be part of. And that's, I think, where Angelo left his best impression. So I think it's a deserved honor. I congratulate you, and I'm proud to be a friend.
Our next honoree is someone many of us know, and just before we start, I wanted to make a little correction in the program. It's not Mrs. Italian America, it's Miss. I just want her parents to know that she didn't elope. There's no surprise coming. Someday, but not now. Anyway, so our Miss Italian America for 2015 is Brianna Otto. Brianna.
As Joe said, many of you probably recognize Brianna because for the better part of the last 5 years, she was my intern. I met Brianna in her senior year in high school through the Woodbridge Choir. She was the treasurer of the choir. Naturally, I was attracted to treasurers because being an accountant myself. And then she started working on political campaigns and getting involved in the town. Like at 17 years old, she said, "What do I have to do to run for council?" I mean, I said, "Calm down. You're still in high school. Go to college, get your degree, start your job, start your family, then you can talk about it." Right, Nan? She's not ready for competition from a, not yet. But yeah, Brianna's always been active, always wanted to do more. And then, what is it, about a year ago now, we put her onto the C. Warren Library Board, and within like a meeting, she was the president. Because everybody there, a lot of people had been doing it for a long time. They got somebody in with new blood and new ideas, and since Brianna's been there, there's been 3 different Eagle Scout projects that have beautified the place. Once a month she has an event. Yesterday she had a doggy meet and greet. I mean, just things to bring awareness. It was, all right, it's fun, it's cool. Just something, something to bring awareness to the C. Warren Library. It operates independently from the town. We give them a little bit of money every year, but it operates independently. She had, who's the girl from Frozen? Elsa, and some characters. And all these events for the kids to publicize the library, but to give the kids something to do. She's done an absolutely fantastic job in that role. I know someday, if she stays in Woodbridge, she will be active, and she will be up here, and she will be up there, and she will be back with the council or the Board of Ed or the elected officials someday. That's the path she's on. and she's just so interested in government and so interested in politics, and she's done a fantastic job as my intern for the last several years. So it gives me great pleasure to present Brianna Otto with Ms. Italian American 2015.
I'm going to keep it brief, but I just really want to thank and dedicate this award to my Nonna and Nono, who are sitting right here in the front. They're celebrating. This year, they'll be celebrating 46 years in the United States. They came here from Marsala, and they've been a huge part of my life, and I'm so grateful to have them here today, so thank you.
And last but not least, our honorees, Christopher and Queen Isabella, Larry and Claire Malosha. I'll tell you something about them. This isn't the only thing they do every year. They are so active in the community in a variety of different ways that we're so proud of, and that they're part of the team and part of the fabric of this community. And they're happy to represent the Queen and Christopher. And we think about what Christopher Columbus was facing as he and his crew and 3 ships crossed what was then, still is the Atlantic, but everyone who believed that the world was flat, they were going to just go off the edge and never be seen of again, heard of again, and seen from again. And there are some people today that still think the world is flat, but that's an entirely different argument. But Christopher Columbus's vision and his dream and his hope that he would find new lands and new peoples certainly came true. And Larry, we're happy that you're here today. And the Queen Isabella, who believed in it as well and financed the project. And without that, certainly his trip wouldn't have happened. And so they're here today to represent them and their courage. And we'd like to ask them to come up and accept our reward as well.
Okay, Chris, say a few words.
In English.
I'm happy to be here with my wife, Queen Isabella. She still finances me in this day and age, and it's great to do what we're doing. Again, it's an honor to honor Christopher Columbus and Queen Isabella for financing him and his trip across the Atlantic Ocean. And the Santa Maria just about made it, and I think it wound up going back and forth a few more times. But at any rate, we enjoy it. My Queen.
He doesn't always say that I'm the Queen. But like someone mentioned before about Charlie Shaughnessy, and I just brought it up the other night at the Irish meeting also, that if it wasn't for Charlie Shaughnessy, we would not be standing up here, because he begged us to do this how many years ago? And 10 years ago, 11. And if I dare say no, he'll haunt me. So he'll haunt us. So that's why we're here too, in his honor.
Mayor, just on behalf of the mayor and the mayor, say a few words. I want to thank you again for coming out today on a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Hope you didn't miss church. There's a 5 o'clock mass, I know, at St. James if you're Catholic. Most of Italians are. I happen to be a Presbyterian Italian, which is very strange, right? People say, how can you be an Italian and a Presbyterian? And I haven't quite figured it out yet, but we all believe in the same thing, and everyone here today has been I look around the room and I see so many familiar faces that have been a great part of our community and continue to give of themselves every day to make this a better place, not just for themselves, which is one thing, but for everyone else. And so for that, I'm very grateful for all the different ethnic groups and people from different backgrounds and religions that have been such a part of Woodbridge Township, my home for all these years. And before we process out for the flag raising, I want to call up Andy Zajac, who is going to sing one song in Italian and he's been a part of this program several years ago. And welcome, Andy, to come up.
I'm song.
A cappella, I guess.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, right, as far as I can. I just wanted to say the reason why I'm really here is my mother was Mariana Mascolo, or Mascolo. She's Neapolitan. She's 90 years old in a nursing home. I got the invitation here, so I figured I might as well come back and see you people. I'm going to do a Neapolitan song. I'm sorry it's not Sicilian or classic Italian. Vino mare quante bello, spira tanto sentimente, come i tuoi chi tieni mente, cacetato fai assunna. Guarda, guardi stu giardino, siente sti sciure arance, no profumo a così fino, dindo core se ne va. Ehi, tu dice parto addio, talunda non has tu core, da sta terra dell'amore, non te santo ni podà, ma non me la sa, non dormes tu dormiendo, torna sorriento, fammi compagnia.
Wow, that was something, huh? So we're gonna process that again. I want to thank the Knights of Columbus and Colonia chapter for all their great work and their contribution to our town over all these years and what they do every day, particularly for children. We're going to go out to participate in the flag raising with led by Frank Della Pietro from the Woodbridge Board of Education, and the national anthem by Valentina Saramba. So happy Columbus Day, and let's head outside. Thank you very much.
Now to sing the American and Italian national anthems, Ms. Valentina Saramba. Past Ms. Italian American for
Street.